It's about time with Rashawn's About Time Boxing, aka Mr. Trill 100 Mil. What's up to my About Time Boxing family and the Trill 100 Mil gang? Thank you to every single one of y'all who has been uh, showing me love, who has been supporting the channel, who's been subscribing to the channel, taking out the time to watch the videos, like the videos, share the videos, and leave the comments, man. I didn't even expect, honestly, for my channel to get where it is now. So I'm gonna keep rocking with it, though. I appreciate all the love and all the support. Shout out to my guy Kofi's Universe, man. You called for it, bro. You know what I mean? Real deal. Appreciate you, bro. If you have not already subscribed to the channel and you're watching this video or any of my videos for the first time, please subscribe to the channel. Encourage others to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit that notification bell to get notified, to stay up on the latest with Rashawn's About Time Boxing. All the channels that I rock with and that I support will be in the description box below. So please check the description box for those channels, and please subscribe to and support those channels too as well. All right, so we're gonna jump into it. RAKTAK, you know what it is. All right, so what are the Errol Spence fans saying now? Now, in the beginning of all of this stuff, when Bud was still with Top Rank, everybody kept saying, Errol Spence himself even said, man, when him and there's videos of him and Terence Crawford, in the past, when Bud was with Top Rank and they ran into each other, and he would say stuff, and they would talk about fighting each other and mock about how they'd knock each other out and all that. Errol Spence was like, man, you need to tell Bob, man, you gotta get rid of Bob. And then even other interviews, when a question would come up about him and Crawford fighting, they would say the same thing. Like, Spence would say the same thing. Oh man, you got to get rid of Bob. You got to get rid of Bob. And so after he knocked out Sean Porter, after he stopped Sean Porter, at the post conference, the post press conference after the fight, and Bob and them wanted him to resign, but he was like, nah, this is my last fight with them. I wish, Bob and them nothing but the best, but it's time for me to move on. Said, because the big fights I want, he can't secure them for me. If y'all saw at the press conference, y'all know how the story went. Y'all know how the story went. And so when Errol was saying, and everybody else was like, man, the fight ain't going to happen as long as he's still with Top Rank and Bob Arum. So as soon as he got away from them, when he got away from Bob Arum and they were still talking about trying to make the fight happen, what was a lot of y'all Errol Spence fans, y'all, what they call y'all, Errol-sexuals? The Spencetivity crew? What were y'all saying? What were y'all saying? Oh man, it's Bud. And listen, and even before, you know what I mean, the contract negotiations and everything was serious and all that, there was a lot of people putting up videos, clickbaiting and doing all this stuff, talking about, oh, Bud won't sign the contract, and all that stuff was lies. And there was a lot of people who put videos out there talking about, oh yeah, no, Bud won't, he's scared that he won't sign the contract. People making videos talking about, Bud, why won't you sign the contract, and all kind. And I saw all the headlines. I've seen them months ago, even maybe possibly like 6 months to a year ago, maybe longer. But there were people making titles talking about Bud won't sign the contract. Then it was even people making videos talking about Spence signed his side of the contract, Bud didn't sign his. It was people saying all this stuff, and none of it was true. But now, they really reached an agreement. And the only thing that they were waiting on was for both of their attorneys to work out the little kinks and stuff. Because they had a bilateral rematch clause in the contract for whoever wins the fight on November 19th, because they came to an agreement on the date. Fight date would be November 19th. The guy who was, I can't remember his name, he was the director or public relations person or something like that of PBC. I can't remember his name. But he was the one in the beginning who was like, they was going to offer Bud. You know, they said the fight wouldn't happen because of what they was going to offer Bud. It wasn't going to be good. All this talk about it was no money in the budget for the fight and all that. I don't understand how it was no money in the budget for that fight. But y'all got money in the budget for for Jake Paul and his fights. Y'all had money in the budget for Keith Thurman to fight Mario Barrios on pay-per-view. But this fight, Crawford and Spence, bigger than them all. Bigger than them all. And they were saying there's no money in the budget. And I sound like a broken record. I can't keep repeating myself, but I've said this repeatedly time and time again. That was a fight that is already sold. You don't have to sell it. And I've been saying this from day one, from the very beginning before there were even talks, when they first started heading towards them two fighting each other. I said, that's a fight that's already sold. If the tickets went on sale, boom, they'd sell just like that. And the pay-per-views, listen, that fight, pay-per-views is probably going to do anywhere between 300,000 and 600,000 pay-per-view buys. Anywhere between there. Could be more, but I'm telling you it's going to be between 300,000 and 600,000 pay-per-view buys for that fight. Watch. Y'all ain't got to believe it. It's a fact. That's a fight. That's a fight that sells itself. No different than, you know what I mean? If you got a good product, your product is good, you ain't got to sell it. It's going to sell itself. And this fight is a fight that sells itself. So I don't understand what they mean there's no money in the budget. And so now after all this talk about Bud's scared, because yeah, people were saying that. Bud's scared because he knows Spence going to do to him. Blah, 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 blah. All this other nonsense. And y'all can say whatever y'all want. There's a reason Errol Spence chose to fight Ugas first and not Bud. Wasn't, you know what I mean? Like, of course, strategically, yeah, it made more sense because it's a bigger risk of him losing, you know, the unified belts he already had he fought Bud. But everybody knew he would walk Ugas down and take his belt, which a lot of y'all saying gives him the leverage. Okay, he got the leverage. Y'all wanted Spence to have the leverage. He got the leverage. Y'all wanted him to get the lion's share, you know, of the money from the fight November 19th. He got the lion's share. When PBC hoodwinked Bud and they got him to sign some lowball bullshit deal, he did it. But he did it all for what? To make the fight happen when all of y'all was the one saying that Bud was the one holding the fight up. And now Bud signed his part of the contract. Who didn't sign theirs? Spence. Why? He was the one claiming how bad he wanted to fight. He said he wanted to fight just as bad as Bud. What are you holding up for? Why he ain't signed his part of the contract yet? They got everything they wanted. Y'all Spence fans should be happy. Y'all got everything y'all wanted. As far as I was concerned, 50-50. It's a 50-50 fight. Anybody can win it. It's a 50-50 fight. But it should have been a 50-50 split. And I even said a 55-45. But a 35-65 split, if that's what it is, come on. So I guess, you know, to the powers or whatever, Bud's past accomplishments don't mean anything. And y'all telling me that if they both was to go into the Hall of Fame right now, they would have more to say about Spence? And the solidification of his career based on his accomplishments? But it's okay for y'all to give that leverage to people like Canelo and Lomachenko, you know, when they was former world champions, or 2 division or 3 or 4 division world champion, Manny Pacquiao, you know what I mean, 8 division or something like that, world champion and all that. It's okay for y'all to get that type of leverage to those type of people when it comes to them, you know, getting an even share or splitting. Because when Pacquiao was fighting Floyd, y'all was like, oh man, so what, Floyd got this. Man, he did this. He an 8th division world champion, or he blah, blah, blah. He did just as much as Floyd. It should be an even split. And with Canelo, I always forget it. Man, you fighting Canelo, that's that Canelo ticket. You take whatever they give you. Still more than what you ever made. But now all of a sudden, when it comes to Bud, he had 3 division world champion, current WBO champion, former undisputed, undefeated, junior welterweight champion, and none of that holds no validity? None of that stuff was it was of no use. Everybody just swept it under the rug like, oh no, they bad bargaining chips. The fact that he a 3 division world champion, bad bargaining chips. But Errol Spence, everything he's accomplished is at 147. No other weight division. And that's enough for y'all to say, I don't want to hear nothing about, like, please, y'all can miss, I don't want to hear nothing about his numbers, or he sell more, oh, blah, 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 blah. If y'all did y'all research about Terence Crawford's situation with Top Rank, y'all would know why his numbers were low. And I talked about that in the last video that I put up. I wasn't analyzing the fight. We talking about the stipulations. And explaining why it should have been a 50-50 fight. You know what I mean? Or it should have been a 45-55. And he still ended up signing a multi-fight deal with them on some bull. So the only way that pendulum is going to be able to swing in his direction is for him to beat Errol Spence. And if y'all don't think them jerking him around like this, if y'all think it's going to throw him off psychologically, y'all sadly mistaken. Y'all sadly mistaken. Bud is going to use that for so much fuel. He going to use it for fuel. If Spence signed the contract, if he signed his part of the deal, so what are y'all going to say now? Because I know y'all going to have 1,000,000,001 excuses why Errol Spence didn't sign his part of the contract yet. Y'all can't say it's Bud like y'all said before. Y'all said it was Bud before. He just scared. Y'all lied. Spence signed the contract. Bud didn't. All that stuff was lies. But now we know Bud signed his part of the contract and took that bullshit deal. And now Spence ain't signed his side of the deal. Why is that? He got everything he wanted. He wanted Bud to take the lesser amount. He got it. What's the hold up now? Please fill me in. I'm clueless on this one. So, you know, if Spence don't sign the contract, it would appear that this is the proof that Bud was never the issue. He was never the one holding up. Bud was never the one holding things up. And it would appear that Spence is scared. If Bud signed it, Spence got everything he wanted, everything he said he wanted, and all this, that, and the third, and all that, and how bad he wanted to fight. He didn't sign it. He didn't sign his side of the contract yet. If that was Bud, If Spence had been the one who signed it and Bud didn't sign it, like y'all alleged in the past, putting up all these fake titles, clickbaiting and all that stuff, saying, oh man, Spence signed it, Bud ain't signed the contract. Y'all really wanted to believe Bud was the one holding everything up. First it was he had to get away from Bob Arum. And then now after he got away from Bob Arum, for whatever reason, he just was the one holding everything up. He pricing himself out. He asking for too much. All these different things y'all was saying about Bud. Now Bud, just said, you know what? All right, F it. I'm going to take this bullshit deal, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to sign it. Now let's see how bad he really want to fight me. What's the hold up on Spence part? I'm just saying, for the life of me, I don't understand what the hold up is. So we know now, it's evidently clear that Bud was not the one holding things up. He accepted that lowball, crappy ass deal that they offered him. He got that split. You know what I mean? So for all the Spence fans who was saying, you know what I mean, if Bud's so confident he could beat Spence, then take what they offering him, just take whatever, you might just take whatever. If you could beat him, take whatever they offer you, and then, if you beat him, everything will go in your favor. Make the fight happen. Prove you're a better fighter. Beat Spence. Then you can write your own ticket. You can write your own ticket. Then you'll be the man. All this stuff everybody's saying. But Bud signed it. What's up with your boy ERROL? Why he didn't sign his part yet? Why he didn't ink his part of the deal? What's the issue with that? And I know some of y'all gonna come on here and y'all gonna have, I know y'all got y'all stuff set up in place already. I know y'all do. Y'all gonna come on here talking real crazy. Keep the comments respectful though. But I'm telling you, y'all can't blame Bud no more. Spence need to sign the contract. Because, like I said before, and I said this months ago, 3-4 months ago, I said this. I believe that both of those guys were training already for each other. And then once they came to an actual agreement, they would ramp up their training. These guys have been training. There's no way they come to an agreement for November 19th. These guys have already been training. And I said before too, maybe it was a lot of stuff that was already going on behind closed doors and they just didn't want to talk about it. Or they agreed not to speak about it and just spring it up on everybody. So what's the holdup? Are y'all worried that because, some people was alleging, that Spence may have been on stuff? I'm not saying that he was. I never alleged that Spence was using performance-enhancing drugs. I actually, gave him his credit and his due for being a good boxer. I gave him his credit for that. But there's other people who, said some things about him that, I've never alleged that he was on nothing, but they was talking about, these people he fought, he did this to their eyes and all that type of stuff. If you can crack, you can crack. You don't need to be on, no PEDs, if you can crack that good, you don't need to. And that was a thought that never even crossed my mind about Spence being on no PEDs. But you gotta question, why is he holding up the contract? Could it be about the drug testing part, the VADA thing, Because you can't agree to terms. And y'all agree on the date, the term sheet and all that type of stuff. And one person signed their part of the contract and then you don't sign yours. What's the issue? What's the issue? Now this is confirmation of who wants to fight who really wants to fight the baddest. It appears that Bud is the one who really wants to fight and really trying to make the fight happen. Because if Spence was trying to make it happen, he would have signed his too. He would sign his part too. Why is he hesitating? And don't say, oh, you know, this psychological warfare. You know, it's, you know, you just trying to play on Bud's psyche and all that type of stuff. Man, stop. No. No. That's why I said, listen, it would appear that maybe he really scared. Because this is the biggest fight of both of their careers. The biggest fight of both of their careers. Yeah. The biggest fight. And the biggest fight in the welterweight division. And right now, the biggest fight in boxing. That Golovkin Triple G Canelo trilogy was crap. I didn't even watch it. And that's why I never even reported on it. Nobody wanted to see that. Nobody wanted to see that. Canelo's star power is digressing. Had he fought David Benavidez or somebody, but that's a whole nother situation. But y'all let me know. Drop the comments in the comment section below. What's going on with this Bud and Errol Spence situation? Do some of y'all think, you know what I mean, Errol Spence is, y'all think he's scared? Why he ain't signed his part of the contract? What's the situation? Bud got the worst. He got the lower and the less. He got the worst part of this entire deal, and he still went on ahead and signed it. Don't want to hear nobody talking about, oh man, oh he a dummy for doing that, man. He shouldn't have signed it. Same people that's saying now who's trying to say Bud dumb for signing it. Y'all the same ones talking about, he should just take whatever they give him if he confident he can beat him. Then if he beat him, he the man. And then he can write his own. He can do whatever he want. Y'all got to balance your scales out. But like I said before, fight night. And hopefully it will be November 19th. Fight night. Then we're going to find out. We're going to find out who's the king of the welterweight division. Now, I'm going to do another video, analyzing the fight, giving my prediction, breaking it down, what Bud got to do, what Spence got to do, what they can't allow each other to do and all that. That's a whole nother. That video's coming. But let me know what y'all think about this whole Bud, and Spence not signing his part of the contract. What y'all think the holdup is? Keep the comments respectful though. Drop the comments in the comment section below, but please do me a favor. Like this video and subscribe to the channel and share this video. All right? So stay tuned. Next one is coming.